So what happened with Matt Stafford? Matt Stafford, the Rams in general definitely been struggling now 5 weeks into the season. Definitely had a Super Bowl hangover to some degree. What's going wrong? Why are they only 2-3? What is happening? Well, let's start off with this play. I think this is a great example of what they're struggling with, which is it's going to be a man coverage play. It's cover one man. And you have Cooper Kupp, who's going to be running a route over the middle that could get open. And, Cooper Kupp, kind of the guy to win in one-on-ones. That's kind of what why you pay him so much money. He is this superstar wide receiver. However, right when this play begins, it's not really working. I mean, Stafford's, I think, kind of doing the right thing right here, getting rid of the ball quickly and just sort of, expecting Kupp to get open. I think it makes sense. I do think that trusting Kupp, I understand the logic, but the reality is it's just not really that open right now. And as you see, that one is going to fall incomplete. And, that's Anthony Brown on Kupp. That's not even like Trayvon Diggs or anything. So when Anthony Brown is shutting down your best receiver, that's an issue. And to me, this was the biggest issue. And the biggest issue the Rams have is not Cooper Kupp struggling. Cooper Kupp is still awesome. Cooper Kupp is still winning. But they're so Cooper Kupp reliant that if someone's shutting down Cooper Kupp on a specific play, the play basically just doesn't work. Like this one's probably a better example to make that point, where it's going to be, once again, a cover one man play. So you see the route on your screen. This is a route that, is a good situation. This is a one-on-one matchup. It's a route that can win against this scheme. So this is what you're hoping for to happen. And this is the guy you went out and paid a bunch of money to get, Allen Robinson. You paid Allen Robinson to win these matchups. That's why he got a contract, and that's what he was able to do, seemingly with bad quarterbacks, and now he gets to a good quarterback and can't seem to do it. Watch how when Stafford takes the snap, he's going to start to fire one in that direction, and it appears to be open. Again, last one, I'm going to say maybe make that throw, maybe don't. I probably would lean towards yes because it's Kupp, but maybe you could argue don't make that throw. This one, he should make this throw. I would be mad at Stafford if I was a head coach and saw him not make this throw. This is a throw that he should make. However, Allen Robinson isn't able to get there, and it's maybe a bit too far as well, but also fantastic defense. So, again, also Anthony Brown, interestingly enough. So Anthony Brown having a great day. He's actually played well for the Dallas Cowboys under Dan Quinn, interestingly enough. But, again, these are the wins you have to have, and when you're not winning in these situations, you're struggling. One of the things I always say is that no quarterback looks good when receivers aren't getting open, especially because when you're watching the game on the broadcast footage, you don't see what's going on down the field. So when you're, head, for all you know, the quarterback isn't throwing the ball down the field because he's just being stupid. You just don't know. And so it makes the quarterback look way worse. And not to mention stuff like this, where it's also like the offensive line isn't protecting the way they should. So there's just been a lot of issues here. Really, none of these offensive linemen have been particularly good for the Rams so far, which is weird. I mean, listen, losing Andrew Whitworth is going to hurt, but the offensive line still should be performing better than it has been. Every offensive line has some injuries. They are not without. They have been banged up this season as well, of course, but still, look at that Dallas player and watch what's going to happen here. I mean, he basically just gets completely by Alaric Jackson, who I don't know why he just kind of let him go, and that's going to completely disrupt that play. So Stafford didn't even have time to let it develop. He gets sacked, and then everyone says, oh, Stafford, don't take a sack there. What was he supposed to do? The offensive line literally didn't block for him. So again, I'm not going to sit here and, completely make excuses for Stafford. It's not like he hasn't been to blame whatsoever, but there's just a lot going wrong right now for the Los Angeles Rams. Here's something you can blame Stafford for. He has been missing throws. And to be honest, that's just who Stafford is to some degree. He is someone who will miss throws. He isn't a perfectly pinpoint accurate guy. That's never been why you draft Matthew Stafford, why you trade for Matthew Stafford, is because of his accuracy. He is someone who will miss throws. And it just looks worse when, the rest of the offense also isn't doing well, because it's going to be a man coverage play, but you have a pretty good concept right here. It's going to be the underneath route that's going to eventually get open with a lot of, a lot of other stuff going on, a lot of traffic going on, where the corner trying to cover the receiver who is running underneath right here. That's Ben Skowronek, who I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Skowronek, whatever it is. I hear it pronounced 100 different ways, so who knows. But watch how when this play begins, you do see him open. I mean, he is absolutely open right here, to the point where this is a throw that when your offense is struggling, you really want to make this throw. Instead, this throw is going to be missed, and this is on a 3rd down and short. I mean, it's one you have to make, Stafford. It is. It's like, this is definitely something you can put on Stafford. I don't think that the entire game was on Stafford. I don't even think a big chunk of the game was on Stafford, but he also did not play well on top of everything. So it can all be true, right? You can sit here and say the reason the Rams offense struggled was not because of Stafford. That's very true in my opinion, but also Stafford did not play well on top of it. And that's actually if you're a Rams fan, you're wanting to watch the tape and see Matthew Stafford just play terrible, because you know that won't happen. You know he'll play better down the stretch. I think it's more concerning the fact that he didn't just play terrible and they still struggled. Although again, great defense you're going up against, so maybe you just write it off as that. And then finally, so like the interception, it's a fine interception. Like, he's trying to make something happen here, so I totally get it. And this is part of what makes a quarterback look worse, is nothing's getting open. You then feel like you have to start taking more chances, and especially in this situation, there's only a few minutes left in the game. You gotta do something to try to get a touchdown here. So might as well take a chance if you see what can happen. It's a man coverage play. You have Allen Robinson running a route that if he's underneath the safety or even past the safety, if the safety moves in, can potentially get open. And look at how when this play begins, you see that, it does actually kind of get past the safety a little bit, but the corner covering him is just completely covering him to the point where Allen Robinson seemingly has just given up on this play. But Stafford's sitting here saying, well, let's just, it's 3rd down. We have to get the ball inside the 13-yard line, or 12-yard line. Let's just throw one here and hope it works out. I like this decision by Stafford. I do. Throw up a jump ball to someone who's made a career out of catching jump balls. He's throwing off balance. He was throwing while getting hit. He throws it a bit high. It gets intercepted. And then people can say, oh, wow, rough day for Stafford. He had that interception. This is not fair to me. Stafford should have made that throw. Actually, one of the things I respect about Stafford is that he is someone who will take chances when his team is down. He plays to win, even when he was playing on those horrible Lions teams. They made his stat. People called him Stat Padford, which is a funny name, but I feel like just as much it goes the other way, where he will get extra turnovers late in the game because he's trying to make stuff happen. So it's just one of those things where I just have a hard time sitting here and blaming Stafford for this game. I think that there's so much else that is wrong with the Rams this season. They needed a consistent second option, and last year they pretty much had that constantly. If you remember, yes, they only had Odell towards the second half of the season, but in the first half of the season, they had Robert Woods. They had Robert Woods until they signed Odell, and then Woods almost immediately got injured. So they always had at least another option. They just need more options, and I think that you got to think about trading for somebody is what I would be thinking. But as a whole, that's what's going wrong with the Rams offense. And again, you're playing Dallas. Dallas has a good defense. That's probably a factor as well, of course. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about all of this. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on Matt Stafford and the Rams' struggles? And again, 2-3, plenty of time to turn it around. We'll see if they do it. But that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.